Well, I would only change my own personal experience. When I made The Godfather, I was miserable and I was frightened and I was very unhappy. And the only thing I would change if I did it again is I would be more happy, I would have enjoyed my children more, and I would not have been so worried. But of course, now I know the result, and then I didn't. I remember very much how kind everyone was to me. As we talk a lot about how much difficulty making The Godfather was. But when I came to Taormina, when I came to Sicily, and I was not famous by any means, and I was not even Sicilian, I was Napolitan, Luccanese, but everyone here in Sicily was really kind to me, and I remember that more than anything, not only in Taormina, but in all the towns, Forza del Gro, Savoca, many beautiful places. The people, I remember the people, the Sicilian people are the warmest, most welcoming people that really I have experienced in Italy. I mean, all Italians are interesting, but they're all very different. But one thing about the Sicilian is that they are very warm-hearted and kind. Well, I confess, you're very perceptive, that all my life as a little boy, I was aware that my father was very frustrated with his career. And we all hoped that he would get his opportunity. He was a great flautista. But you know, sometimes you get a talent, everyone gets a talent, we all get a talent, but you don't always get the talent you want. My father's talent was he was probably one of the best flautistas in the world, but he wanted to be a composer. He wanted to be like in the mold of George Gershwin. You think of George Gershwin, he was a great pianist, he was a great songwriter. No one wrote better songs than George Gershwin. He wrote an opera, he wrote a symphony, a rhapsody. So George Gershwin was a model, and I think my father wanted that. So as a child, I always saw my father's disappointment and unhappiness. So you can imagine that at an older age, to see this man win an Oscar and have this achieved, it filled me with great happiness. But then I saw my daughter win an Oscar. I saw my nephew win an Oscar. And one after another, I saw our family go from obscurity to today. People think that we're an important film family, but we didn't know anybody. We had no connection. We had no money. It was all an accident. I consider the main theme loyalty. You know, all my films have a one-word theme. The Godfather was about succession. Apocalypse Now was about morality. Conversation was about privacy. The Outsiders was about family. But I think Megalopolis is about loyalty. But loyalty to our family, to Homo sapien. Because as you know, we're all one family, wherever we're from. If you're from Asia, if you're from Africa, we are one family that survived. And I believe we survived because we were friendly and generous with one another. And so my loyalty is to us and to the species that we have to protect, and to the earth, this most beautiful home. So I think this theme of Megalopolis is loyalty.
Why did you choose Adam Driver as your lead?
Because he was the right age, he had the right complexity. I think he had the capability to have emotion, but also to portray intellectual superiority. So I think he's a good young actor. He wasn't too old for it's basically a love story. So we have to get away from the love story which has 30 years between the man and the woman. We have to show a love story of similar age. So, well, not if they don't control the film. If they are making the film just to entertain people. You know, it's like food a lot. There's a lot of food we like, especially in America, that is very attractive and entertaining, hamburgers and what we call junk food, but there's no nutrition. So cinema is the same. You can make a film that's very entertaining for a few hours, but unless you give the audience more than that, unless you give them more just entertainment, but also nutrition. And for a work of art, nutrition is basically something that helps illuminate contemporary life. In other words, we look at art to illuminate life so we see better. We depend on art to let us see better, to understand our lives better, to be able to discuss with each other things. So that's what I feel a film has to have. It has to bring illumination.